a group of people basically tried to trigger me into psychosis. Like, I just want to speak about how Africans and other black communities, they protect child abusers and pedophiles, molesters, etc. Um, because it's a taboo in the culture. And I'm kind of, even mental health, like mental health back in the day was not a big thing in the black community because if you're going mad, no one is like, we're gonna disown you or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Not we, but you know, it was a taboo. Like, people don't really talk about it. Like, if you say you've got mental health issues or like you're going through something, like, people are gonna look at you funny. And I still feel like we're still a little bit like that. Like, there's a lot of naivety. Yeah, there's a lot of naivety when it comes to mental health. Like, I know mental health professionals that will disregard mental health. Like, they will, but then they say they're mental health professionals and they're going to look after patients all the time, which I'm like, that's crazy. But anyway, I'm really here to speak about, like, my own personal journey. Like, I've been trying to share my story. Well, I've been sharing my story for the past year now and a bit, because a group of people basically tried to trigger me into psychosis, let me say that. And I think a number of people in that group probably didn't realize what was actually going on. And, you know, as long as you take part in something nasty or something really bad to hurt someone else, all I'm saying is that anyone that was involved, even from the littlest bit, anyone that uttered my name when it came to all of that, like, everyone's gonna get it. Like, they're gonna get the consequences of all of that. The main culprits were people who were trying to silence me and not basically let me get my story out on child abuse and pedophilia, and also like some spiritual stuff, especially speaking about like Africans. I'm Zimbabwean and I grew up in England, so I didn't really understand African spirituality at all. I had to kind of learn from the internet, learn from stories that people would tell. And it's like, I would always hear like family members talking about, oh, kwaseke, pane road, seke road, what. But anyway, me over my head, I was like, what? I never put two and two together, basically, like Shinjai Kamo, Penny Mango, like things that were going on in my life to um the things that I'd heard about from family and stuff like that. And only up until 2023, I realized that there was some kind of generational curse, generational trauma that was going on in my family because as a child, I experienced child abuse and, you know, SA, and obviously then that developed into hypersexuality and stuff like that. And by 18 I had my first child, but nevertheless something happened, and like obviously I've got my own kids, so I was like, hold on, whose kids, when, where? And unfortunately at the time, they're like Zimbabwe, when people leave their kids with family members so that they can go and work and stuff like that. And then you hear kuti ningina ningi vakabatwa chibaro na ningina sekuru kana kuti na ndabamkuru or whatever. So yeah, them kind of things happen and they're still happening, unfortunately. So all these things, were happening, and I feel like I was let down by my support system who were supposed to actually be there for me rather than telling me, oh, it happens, oh, let's not talk about, oh, we'll get over it, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hold on, my life ended up as a shit show because I never really got the healing that I needed, like mentally, physically, or anything like that. And now you want me to just override what's just happened, like just be like, oh yeah, it happens, oh yeah. No, 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 it doesn't happen. Not with my children, it doesn't happen. You're not gonna do that to my kids and get away with it. It's not gonna happen. No, 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 no. But anyway, because I decided, or I was showing the fact that I'm not gonna just let things like this happen, a group of people which, there was already random groups of people trying to come up against me anyway, which I just never understood why. Like, there's certain people from Wolverhampton and Walsall and who know who they are, that were doing things behind my back the whole time we was like around each other. So it's weird to have a lot of people coming up against you, but then that's when you realize this is not normal. This is spiritual, like it says in the Bible. We do not fight against flesh and blood. Do you know what I mean? And my last straw was basically my family members and stuff like that coming up against me and basically not really taking my side or supporting me in what decisions I was trying to make. Me asking for space and time for me and my children to heal was never something that was supposed to be taken personally by anyone and be like, oh my God, we now need to call the police on her for a mental health assessment. Mental health assessment? Huh? Really? You, a mental health nurse that missed abuse going on in your house 2 times. Now you want to call the police for a mental health assessment. Are you okay? But anyway, let's not go there. I haven't spoken to two female members of my family. I haven't spoken to a lot of people from my past because I just was like, I'm over that life. The Tatenda that was in that life is dead because that's literally what they tried to do. They tried to silence me and that person is dead. Y'all got what you wanted because this Tatenda, y'all don't know this Tatenda. You don't, honestly. And this Tatenda is going to stand up for what's right, speak up for what's right, and all I want to say in this video, basically, in the Black community, we need to stop protecting criminals, especially when it comes to SA, molestation, pedophilia, and people who dibble and dabble in witchcraft. Like, I'm over it. All it takes to do some energy manipulation is speaking negative things over someone's life, or applying, or trying to do things, or saying something to this person so that person won't work with this person and won't give that person an opportunity. All of those little things are manipulation and can be classed as, a form of witchcraft, because there is power in the tongue, life and death. And a lot of people were speaking death over my life, and I realized that I had to get out of here. Like, I had to move, I had to get out. And I urge anyone who is in my situation or anything similar to the situation that I went through, to speak up. Don't be silenced. Do not be silenced, because that's exactly what they want you to do. They don't want you to get your truth out. Speak up.